Alright guys, Tastymond here. Something new for the channel. I'm indeed going to start doing some reviews, and first on the list is The Witcher 3. So it's a game I've been playing for the past month, and I'll be honest with you guys from the start, The Witcher 3 was not a game I was particularly excited for. I did buy The Witcher 2, and I tried playing it a few times but never really got into it that much. But recently I just got a brand new PC, and thought what better game to buy than The Witcher 3, because I just wanted to really see something that I could see how good the graphics were on this game. So this is my first Witcher game that I have fully completed, and as soon as I started playing it I knew it was going to be amazing. So the game is one of the best fantasy world games I've ever played. I've loved fantasy world games since I played Zelda Ocarina of Time, and it's one of the things that also intrigued me to first play Dark Souls. They've got really good dark fantasy worlds, but The Witcher 3 takes place in the Northern Kingdoms, and it's definitely the best fantasy world of them all, in my opinion. So you play as Geralt the Witcher, who is trying to find Ciri. It's his adopted daughter who is being hunted by the Wild Hunt, a group of spectres whose very presence is said to bring the end of the world. Now that line just makes me want to play the game even more. So the game does a really good job of introducing you to the huge world that you will eventually be a part of. See, the first area, White Orchard, it's basically a tutorial area. It's rather small in comparison to the later areas in the game. The world is huge. It's one of the biggest, most stunning games I've ever played, but it can be overwhelming at first. With how big it is. It's even more rewarding though the more you do explore it, I would definitely say. There's Velen, Novigrad, and the later area, which is Skellige. I mean, they all have their own unique feels, from the forests, the hugely populated cities, the mountains, the vast oceans. I mean, they're all free to explore, and that's what just makes this game even more amazing to me. So with each area there are notice boards which basically unlock the quests available to you in that area. Some are side quests, some are contracts, and they even unlock the undiscovered locations that you can visit on the map. So it just lets you play the game at your own pace. Say you want to do some side quests, the side quests are just really well done. They just come with some really huge decision making which could even influence the way your game turns out. And this also makes the game just so replayable, just to see how it turned out in a different way, just if you went down a different path. The contracts are one of the best parts of the game also, but they're also one of the hardest depending on what difficulty you play on. Some really unique monster designs. The monsters are stunning, even from the foglets to the griffins and the vampires, which are actually some of my favourites. I really did enjoy fighting some of the vampires. Just every area you roam around in this game has people just living their everyday lives, and that makes the world feel even more alive. This is definitely one of the biggest things about the game. But I would say if you do get bored of doing contracts or quests, you just get a bit worn down by it, just consider going out to one of these undiscovered locations on the map, and there could be a whole brand new story to take part in there that is not a quest, or a brand new monster waiting for you to fight that you've never seen before that might not be in the contracts. And even if you don't want to do this, they have the side game which is Gwent. It's a card game, really addictive card game. I do enjoy card games. It'll basically have you hunting down every single innkeeper or merchant, just so you can find out who plays Gwent, and so you can actually own all the cards. I mean, I just found that some nights when I was playing The Witcher 3, I would sometimes just play Gwent the whole night. I mean, it's so addictive and fun. So on to some of the combat. The combat in this game is pretty unique, and in my opinion it also comes down to what difficulty you play on again. See, if you play on normal, you can use this ability which is called Meditate, it lets you fast forward time, but on normal difficulty it will also recover your health. This is a huge deal. I do recommend, as somebody who's only played The Witcher 3, to play the game on normal for the first playthrough. I really do recommend this, just so you can get a feel of how the combat works, and consider playing it on a harder difficulty for a later playthrough. I mean, the reason that I would say that is just the general damage that the enemies do on normal compared to something like Deathmarch is a vast difference. On Deathmarch you might be like dead in 2 or 3 hits. I mean, it really is just from a normal enemy. When I played on normal, I would basically just be mashing down enemies. It wasn't hard at all. There was no enemy I came up against that really gave me much trouble, but I wasn't having to use potions or anything like that, which was totally fine for my first playthrough, because in my first playthrough I just wanted to explore the world, have fun, and really just not let anything get in my way. But for the second playthrough, which is the one that I'm on now, I really do feel, this might sound a bit weird, but more like a Witcher. Because I have to prepare for almost every single battle that I go in with potions and soak his blade in oils that will damage that particular enemy more, if you know what I mean. So his magic abilities that Geralt has, so you've got Igni, which does like a blast of fire damage, could also be used to like ignite flammable objects. Ard, which is a powerful blast that will stagger and push enemy opponents away. You've got Axii, which is a magical ability that lets him temporarily stun opponents. You've got Yarden, which is quite a big one as well, which will trap opponents and is needed to help with some of the more, I would say that Yarden is really helpful, because that one actually is needed to progress with some of the harder contracts in the game when you come up against some of the more powerful wraith types. And finally you have Quen, which has saved my life in this game more than I can remember. It's a defensive sign that will cast a protective field around Geralt, and it will absorb damage, and if you level that up, it will also give you health back when an enemy hits you. So you can level each of these abilities up in the talent tree depending on your play style. I mean, if you just want to be a complete magic user, you can pump all these abilities into that, or you can put them into your combat and increase the damage of your fast attacks, strong attacks. Now, I'll be honest, I've not explored the talent tree that much as I would like. I've not even touched the alchemy tree yet, but I will definitely be doing that in a future playthrough, or I'll just use a potion of clearance and change my playstyle up. The potion of clearance is one of the more handy things in the game. You can just buy a potion of clearance from the alchemists and it will reset all your ability points, and should you just feel like changing your general playstyle, trying something new. Now I really do want to take some time to talk about the graphics of this game. So basically this is the best looking game I have ever played. I've uploaded this video in 1080p 60 frames per second, so you might be able to see just how good some of this game does look on a higher end PC. I've been running this game on the ultra settings, and it feels like every time I'm just roaming around in the world I can't help but stop and admire how amazing the world looks. It's so impressive, immersive. I mean, sometimes I'll be honest, I'll just put up the game and roam around Velen and have a look at the forest just to see how real the trees look. I mean, they really look that real. Or I'll just go out in Skellige and go sailing just to see how real the water looks. So I'm kind of doing a review here for this game, and it is something new for the channel. Do hope it's turned out okay. This is my first one. I have started at a relatively big game for my reviews, and I can't help but give this game a 10 out of 10. There is nothing bad about this game that I can think of. I love everything about it, and I've sank about 130 hours into this game so far, and I honestly cannot stop playing it. The Witcher 3 has definitely become one of my favourite games of all time, and I honestly never thought I would say that about a game that came out in 2015. So seriously, if you have not played The Witcher 3, I don't know what you are waiting for. Get out there and get witching.